I had a realization that I am not a part of the culture. I'm a observer of the culture and a sort of sometimes a participator in the culture.
And when you first hear that, isn't that hard to hear?
It's hard to hear.
It's hard to hear.
It's very hard to hear.
Because that's not what you thought it was.
Right.
You felt like you were in there.
No, hearing this right now is like.
But when you call a spade, nigga, my culture is compa and guyat. No matter how much I love rap.
Hurt me, bro.
No matter how much I love rap, my culture isn't cornbread and ham hocks.
Right.
Even though I fuck with it.
But
I'm a sauce wine nigga.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You was born in Haiti or you was born here?
I'm born
No,
here.
we're born here.
Yeah.
But the culture and the foundation of what they stand on has already been laid before we got here, right? So when we come here, we getting the Jordans and we getting the thing, we watching Fresh Prince, and that's us observing the culture and then mimicking the culture to a certain degree. We're not of the culture.
And because we look like them,
even
and because
though
they invite us in and feel like home.
Yeah, even though, bro, this conversation me up, Chris. Good conversation.
Black Americans don't have no culture. Why is the YNs over in South Africa wearing
So Timberlands were made by a white man named Nathan Swartz, if you didn't know. And Jordans were designed by Peter Moore, who's also a white man. Let me show you what your culture is. So basically, your culture comes from white people and it's made in China. Then it makes its way to you. What a shame.
We're the only culture, and I'm talking about the American Negro. This is what it's all about. Okay. So we can't be mistaken about what it's really all about. But we're the only people that we are known to this, that don't have a culture, don't know where we come from. They say we come from Africa. Well, if that's the case, there's over 1,500 languages spoken in Africa at this current time. It's a continent. What do you know which one you speak? You know where you come from?
No.
A1?
No.
Oh, do you know your nationality and your roots?
If you've ever heard the phrase that Black Americans do not have culture, or you've ever said that Black Americans do not have culture, you are misinformed. 1, 2, you're a liar. 3, your perception of things is probably off. Because every time I see people say this, it's usually in juxtaposition to other places like that are not America. And I'll be the first to tell you that, yeah, in juxtaposition to these other places that culture has existed in for several hundred, if not thousands of years, yeah, I would imagine that other places exude a particular culture, but you have to also understand that that is wherever it is, whether it's Europe, the Middle East, Africa, even the Caribbean, down here in the Americas. These are old world cultures or old world based cultures with old world beliefs and value systems. You cannot compare America, that is a newer country, to these old world countries with their old world cultures and value systems. We have an entirely different thing here. The United States as a whole is a country, is a big landmass, first off. So Black culture looks different by region of the country. And I think that's the dissonance that people have with it. It's not centralized. I'm from New Orleans. Black culture in New Orleans looks different than Black culture in Mississippi. And that looks way different than culture in Atlanta or in Texas or in LA or California rather. And that looks a world away different than Black culture in New York. Are there things that connect us regardless of what region we're from? Yes, of course. But to say that Black culture does not exist in this country, that's just you don't know enough, or you don't care, or you are participating in white supremacy. I mean, it's using one of those three. Because Black culture is such a wide and colorful array of things that people try to minimize it to just like, oh, this rap and hip hop thing. And it's not it.
If everybody acted like their grandparents right now, it'd be real easy to see Black American culture. If everybody went in their house, grabbed the pictures of their grandparents and acted how their grandparents did in that picture, it'd be real easy to see Black American culture. There would not be no discussion on what is Black American culture. They don't have, if everybody, it'd be real easy to see. Not one group of people gonna walk around looking the same, and it's gonna be a bunch of other people. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because I never forget the picture that I saw of my great grandma. She looked like she was about 21, 22. Was on a boat, on a cruise. Now this is the lady that don't cuss, ain't never said the R in my name a day in my life. She called me Cody. I mean, sweet old lady, you know, she called us heathens all the time. In this picture, she had black lip liner on, gold rings and everything. And I was so blown at the look of the picture, I said, oh, you know, when did this person exist? She said, oh, baby, that's back when I used to cuss. So I'm just saying, for all the people that make Black American culture a topic of discussion of what is it, do they have a culture, and all these other type of things, imagine a world where everybody acted like their grandparents. You went in that house, however your grandparents act, that's how you go out into the world and act. We need to have one day where everybody do this. Where everybody collectively across America walk out the house and the entire day act like their grandparent did at that age.
So I scrolled past a video that I found really, really interesting. It was a video that had like a big South African flag, and the background song was a hip hop style song with a hip hop beat and a rap, basically in a rap song. And the lyrics are basically kind of like addressed to like Black Americans, and like, I don't even know if I would necessarily call it like a diss track, but it kind of was like throwing shade here and there. And then like during like the video, it was showing like different, I don't know if the garbs that they were showing were like different South African tribes or whatever. And basically it was talking about how rich their culture is and how, you know, our culture, we really don't have a culture, and, you know, the same old that everybody always has. So, and of course the comment section was all, you know what the comment section looked like, right? It was all South Africans and different, and they were all, you know, they all had a lot of things to say about us and how we're just these horrible people and we're just not, and blah, 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 blah. Who cares? So what's interesting though is that I find that nobody can seem to make if you want to make a diss track, it's interesting that you can't do it without using our music. Like nobody could come with the diss without using something that we started. So like you're using a hip hop beat and you're doing a rap song, right? That's our, because you really can't do it. That's just a hit the same if you do it in your, if you do it in your culture, it just don't hit the same. Y'all just don't have that. It just don't have that zing. You know, nothing has that zing like what we do. Okay, so I get that. But what I also understand is if somebody don't like you, they're not gonna like you no matter what. I don't care what you say, what you explain, they're not going to like you. Every time you explain one thing, they're going to move the goalpost and say something else. They're going to find something else, some other reason why they should not like you. Okay, so they talk about the language thing. If we was to make up some ancient language and just start speaking in it, guess what they would say? Oh, well, y'all just started that. Ha ha ha, you guys are pathetic. You're just making up a language. Okay, if we were to just start dressing up in some colorful garb, they would say the same thing. Oh, y'all just started that. Ha ha ha. You guys are just so lost. Ha ha. There, no matter what. All right. And so, and one of the things that I heard, that I thought was funny, that it was another Black American creator on here, that she said that they think that because we don't dance around in grass skirts and do rain dances in the moon and howl at the moon and dance around in circles and do chants and bang on drums, that means that we don't have culture. And I thought that was funny, but it's the truth, right? Because our culture, we not dancing around in little grass skirts and doing rain and moon dances and, you know, doing face paint. We don't do that. So it looks like we don't have culture, right? So that's all I wanted to say. I just thought that was interesting because there's a lot of this back and forth going on. And I just thought that video was really interesting. Like, you just can't do a diss without utilizing things that we made. That's so interesting.
All right, so as we were able to understand and watch all of the videos, especially the two main videos, which were towards the beginning, right? One was of an African woman who specifically said that Black Americans don't have a culture, and she wanted to sum up Black American culture as some type of fake butt with some type of heels or whatever it is that she was wearing. I'm not sure exactly what she was trying to convey, because that didn't make any sense. That just showed the amount of ignorance that she has, and how it is that she is not trying to understand, learn, be informed about information, a topic, or a group of people. She just wants to go off of the assumptions. Pretty much, it's the same exact thing that I told people before. Whenever you hear anybody, it's not even just Africans, whenever you hear anybody that is not Black American, their primary things is three things that they like to bring up. It's rap music, crime, slavery. Those are the only three things that they know. That's all they go for every single time. Because whenever you hear Africans and many others basically speak like, oh, what is Black culture? What's your rap music? What is it? Gang banging, right? That's what they say every single time. And then when they want to get on the whole thing of like who you are and you don't know who it is that you are, what is it now? Slavery. Again, they only have three areas to move directly to. And these are supposed to be some of the most educated people when it deals with being in America. They're supposed to be some of the most educated immigrants and all of these things, having all of these degrees, these doctorates, these PhDs, and all this other type of stuff, right? These are supposed to be the most educated people, but every single time you see them online and they decide that they want to speak on Black Americans, it's always the most ignorant things. But they're the same ones who are the most educated, but they want to call Black Americans ignorant. It's funny how that works. It's a lot of projection. Like I said, and that further shows how people can be so smart, have all of these great educations, but yet be so dumb at the exact same time. This is where you have a lot of terminologies where people like to say you're a smart dummy. Because you have a lot of people that are smart in some areas, but dumb in a lot of other areas. So a lot of these Africans and many other folks, it's like, yeah, you guys are smart in all of these other areas, but when it actually comes to a very specific topic, when it deals with Black America, you don't have anywhere to go to actually study this. Realistically, you don't, in a sense, have a school that's going to say that, okay, we're going to give you this degree because you 100% know or proficient in knowing about Black Americans and there's nowhere for you to go because it's impossible for you to do. That's a learning experience. You have to be embedded in that. You have to be born within that. That has to be directly in your DNA. You can't just be some type of observer and think that magically because you observed it, you know. This is why I put the video of all three of those brothers up there. They were like, yo, I'm from this place, and you're from this place, and I'm from this place. And I just had to realize that I'm realistically a guest here. I'm not actually of this. And he was like, yo, that really like blew my mind. That broke my heart. That made me feel a certain type of way. And I'm like, I get it. It's like, I understand, right? You come from a whole nother country. It's like, yeah, you got your own culture and stuff, but now you become, in a sense, a part of another culture, right? You embed yourself, or your people embed yourself into a whole nother culture. And because you grew up surrounded by this thing, you're like, okay, this belongs to me now. I am of this, that, and the third. And then you have to come to the realization that, no, it doesn't belong to you. This was created way before you even got here. Like I said, and that's the problem when it deals with a lot of Africans and people from other places. They don't understand how this works. They try to find their way. They try to see their way. They try to add on their whole other type of thing. But, oh yeah, we did this. We did this. We did this. This is not even just your culture. It's everybody's. No. We're not doing that. Just like how I, as a Black American, I can't look over at African culture, Dominican culture, Haitian culture, people down there in South America. I can't look at anybody else's culture and be like, yo, I sat up there and really helped you build this. You know, when it deals with just your organic culture, I can't sit up there and say that. But yet it's crazy how the same people that say that we don't have a culture try to say what it is that they added to our culture, but still say that we don't have a culture. But then that culture that we don't have, they're masquerading, cosplaying, dressing up, and mimicking the culture that doesn't exist. It's like it doesn't even make sense. It's like people don't even know what it is. They're just parroting a lot of stuff, and they're using talking points from people of which they should not even be using talking points directly from. It's like all of these folks out here are not even attacking the people that they should specifically, actually, in reality, be attacking. And this is why I said before, a lot of Africans, they would rather go at Black Americans because it's easy, because this is what they have been shown. This is what they have been taught. This is what they have been indoctrinated into. They've never been taught to specifically go directly at Europe and face them, right? Face the one that is really holding them captive still to this day. The one thing out of everything that I've stated over time dealing with this topic is this. None of them can sit up there and say that Black Americans are afraid to sit up there and fight the government, because we've done that. In many ways, we still continue to do that to this day, because that's how all of these immigrants are able to get here. If we didn't fight, if we didn't stand up, if we did not sacrifice for all of these things, y'all would not be here. Y'all wouldn't be here. And especially even if you were here, y'all would have got kicked out like y'all getting kicked out of a lot of these other countries around the world, because a lot of people seemingly are fed up with a lot of you guys, and they are putting y'all directly out, or they're putting very severe limitations, because a lot of your folks are doing way too much in a lot of these different countries, and y'all don't seemingly know how to get your people directly under control. So like I said, there's a lot of projection here on how Africans and many others want to talk about Black Americans and how it is that we move. But yet, when we look at other countries of which Black Americans aren't even at or a part of, you see a lot of these African faces there, and we see a lot of problems. There's a lot of crime and things going on, which seems to be a little bit weird. And it's because of the people that's directly coming there. But nobody wants to talk about that, though. The Africans don't want to list that, though. They don't want to speak on how the problematic ones of their communities are the ones going all around the world, making them look bad. And how those countries don't have their people directly under control. Like I said, there's a problem out there. There's multiple problems out there of which people should be focused on and talking about, but they opt to focus in on the wrong things, aka Black Americans, which is crazy. We're not y'all problem, realistically. We like to actually mind our business. We didn't ask to be in anybody's discoveries. We didn't ask to be in anybody's conversations. We didn't ask to be a part of anybody's podcast topics or whatever it is that people want to do. Y'all decided to sit up there and do this because y'all know that we are the Midas touch. Whatever we are a part of, it highlights. If you decide to talk about another group the exact same way, ain't nothing popping, ain't nothing happening. There is no movement, no waves. There is no engagement taking place. Like I said, I've been watching this for well over some years, and I've watched how Africans and UK Africans have engaged with one another and how that really ain't moving nowhere. Nobody really cared about the topic, but now when it became UK versus Black Americans, oh, it's popping. You got a lot of content creators now. When it becomes Africans versus Black Americans, oh, you got a lot of content creators. You got a lot of people that want to sit up there and talk. You got a lot of people that want to talk about Black Americans and add their 2 cents, start talking about their culture and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, when y'all just by yourselves talking, don't nobody care. Ain't nobody trying to chime in. Blog sites ain't sitting up there talking about it. Mind you, you got places like the Shade Room, which is what, Nigerian? Is African, right? Just along with a lot of these other sites and whatnot or whatever. They're not trying to really move a lot of that information. They're not trying to inform people about that. They're not trying to showcase that. What does a Shade Room normally talk about? Things going on in and around Black America. Like I said, it's crazy how you got African immigrants that establish businesses, not even around their own culture to make it pop. They got to sit up there and establish it and have Black Americans as the focal point in order to cause any type of movement and or money. Crazy work. But like I said, y'all say that we're not the center of the universe, of the world. But in many of the instances, we can point out how in order for y'all to establish yourselves, y'all have to sit up there and have us in there one way or another. It's crazy work. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I said in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.